So it takes experience of something to grow spiritually, and that's the whole idea. That's our purpose, is to become more godlike. We have everything in the small that God is in the large. God said so. It's in the book. You know, it's so funny about how people want to use one thing to prove something, another thing to prove another, or disprove it, and so forth. I don't ask you to do any of that. All I want you to do is to think about these things and investigate them for yourself. Do your own research if need be, and make up your own mind. I think belief is a wonderful thing, and it's also loaded with doubt. So it depends upon you how you think and how you feel. I can prove to me, to my way of thinking, and for my satisfaction, everything I say. But to you, I don't expect you to agree with me. In fact, if we agreed all the time, as the old saying goes, one of us would be unnecessary, and it'd probably be me. Well, let's talk about karma again and experience. Now, last week we explained what karma was, how it worked, and it's a working of the law, not a tit for tat, as I said at the very end, because you don't need to think about that as a tit for tat. What you need to do is to think of it as an ability to correct and improve yourself. I don't mean that you need to suffer to do that either. You know, most of our experiences we have by action, by doing it. Some of us can observe something and get plenty out of that. For instance, the hot stove story. You don't have to touch that hot stove, nor do you have to watch someone else touch the hot stove. You get close to it, you feel the heat, you know it's going to be hot, and you know it'll burn. If you don't know it'll burn, then you should touch it, and you'll find out. And that's an experience that you don't need to repeat. And you master that experience, meaning you could still love what that hot stove produces, heat for the warmth of the body, and possibly cooking for food. But you don't have to, you can love it for that. And you don't have to like yourself for being burned or like the stove for burning you, even though it was probably your fault. Now, an experience, let me give you an illustration on an experience. Let's say that you and I are involved in a discussion about the anatomical construction of the prehistoric Tyrannosaurus rex. That's a dinosaur, for those of you that don't know dinosaurs. And let's say that I say that the dinosaur Tyrannosaurus rex evolved into the common chicken. You say, how could that be? Look, he's got little limbs up in front that could be turned into hands, or that could turn into claws, or it could become some sort of an animal. But a chicken? Did he wear feathers? Did he lay eggs? Well, these are things that science has been arguing for years, but I get really mad and I say, you're dumb. What's wrong with you that you can't understand? Look how he walks, and that's how a chicken walks. And then your question is, well then, what came first, the chicken or the egg? My theory is, well, if it's a dinosaur, they kept laying eggs, and of course, that chicken became out of the egg. So the egg came first, not the chicken. Aren't I intelligent? Well, you see the Arzadai? Oh, you said no, I can understand that. Well, you see, you say, well, I love you, Gil, and I'm glad that, Doc, and I'm glad that you feel that way, and that's your prerogative, your privilege, and I don't, and so I'm taking off. Well, what you've done is you've mastered an experience, because you still feel pretty good about me, even though I'm a pretty dumb clod. You feel good, and I'm mad at you, and as you leave, I say, you dummy, you'll never learn anything because you're not listening and you're not open-minded enough to learn. See, and so what it amounts to is I still have that experience, but maybe not with you. It doesn't matter who it's with. What it matters is that I'll keep repeating that experience until I finally learn that it's okay to disagree and not get angry. It's okay to have differences of opinion and still love the person that you have the difference with. It's okay. In fact, it's supposed to be that way. So that's the difference. Now, how about karma? What is karma on that particular thing? Well, karma is simply the opportunity for me to learn again, as I said before. and there went the alarm. It's very difficult to explain these things in the few minutes we have. So I want to thank you for allowing me to share a little of the very little I know with you today. God bless you.